Mass grave underground, proof of bodies trapped in the Stilfontein mine. The long wait is nearly over. Matric students will know their results at midnight. And some airports and the Kruger National Park hit by bad weather. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
A video has surfaced which shows dead bodies in the Stilfontein gold mine, Shaft 11. Mining union Makua has released the video after illegal miners claimed there are more than 100 bodies underground and that they died from starvation and dehydration. An autopsy of a body that surfaced earlier this month shows starvation as the cause of death. Between 500 and 1,000 illegal miners are still trapped underground in Stilfontein. A cage has been assembled to bring the miners to the surface. The case of these miners has been before the court since November last year, as those underground have been blocked from returning to the surface by police operations.
Where the police had blocked off key entrances, resulting in it now being physically impossible for the miners to escape. We cannot become a society where we allow police officers to facilitate the death or the starvation and dehydration of people, regardless of whatever activities they are doing underground.
407 learners cheated in the 2024 National Senior Certificate Examinations. The announcement was made by Umalusi, the Council for Quality Assurance in General and Further Education and Training. Nearly 833,000 learners participated in the examinations.
Umalusi remains seriously concerned that KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga are once again at the top of the list, with 195 and 74 implicated candidates, respectively.
Umalusi says they are also waiting for a report from the Department of Education regarding allegations of matric results being leaked and sold online. As we count down the hours to the release of the results, a psychologist has urged parents to pay close attention to the mental health of their children. And South Africa's top-performing learner says electricity outages were a major challenge for him during his matric year. KwaZulu-Natal learner Sibusiso Buthelezi says his school, Zamele High, made provision for learners when they experienced power outages. He was among the 39 top achievers honoured by the Basic Education Minister in Johannesburg this morning at a special ministerial breakfast.
Frequent electricity outages that will often persist for weeks, if not months. It's caused significant interruption to learners like me and many others who relied on their school premises to study in the evenings.
Minister of Education Ziviwe Gwarube will announce final exam results later today, and learners will know their individual results tomorrow. Extreme weather conditions have hit many parts of the country. The bad weather has led to flight disruptions at the George Airport in the Western Cape. The Air Traffic and Navigation Services says heavy rains and strong winds have led to flights in and out of the airport being diverted or cancelled. Homes and roads have been damaged in Newcastle in KZN. The Kruger National Park has closed some of its gates owing to heavy rainfall. Mpumalanga Province has had to close some main roads between Skukuza and Lower Sabi after they were damaged.
KNP disaster management operations have been activated because of the heavy downpours, which have led to gravel roads and low bridges being closed as a precautionary measure. Tour operators, tourists, plus drivers within the park are requested to be patient and extra vigilant during this period.
In Mozambique, two opposition parties, Renamo and MDM, have boycotted today's swearing-in ceremony. 144 parliamentarians have been sworn into their positions. The country has faced months of deadly protests over an election in October, which the opposition says was rigged. The post-election unrest has claimed more than 300 lives, including those of police officers. South Africa's International Relations Minister Ronald Lamola has arrived in Mozambique for the inauguration of President-elect Daniel Chapo. The 47-year-old member of the Frelimo party was elected in October last year. Although the country's highest court upheld Frelimo's continued rule, opposition leader Venancio Mondlane has called for an additional 3 days of protests. Mondlane returned to the country last week after being in exile following the assassinations of his political colleagues. The Competition Commission has released the final report into a probe on anti-competitiveness in the fresh produce market. following repeated concerns about inefficiencies in the sector. The release of the report follows an inquiry launched in 2023. The Competition Commission says an overhaul of the country's fresh produce market is needed to address the inflated prices for fruits and vegetables and the barriers of entry for small and emerging farmers.
This inquiry's final report is more than a document. It provides rich insights into the domestic fresh produce market and, more importantly, a path towards economic inclusion. It reflects the need to address entrenched challenges and creating a market that works for all, from the smallest farmer to the largest farmer, retailer, and ultimately to the consumer.
Retired Judge President Bernard Nwepe has ruled that the hearing probing allegations of sexual harassment made against Eastern Cape Judge President Selby Mbenenge will be held publicly. Counsel for Eastern Cape Judge President Selby Mbenenge made submissions that the hearing be held in full view of the public to safeguard the integrity of the judiciary. Mbenenge is alleged to have sexually harassed a secretary of the same division, Andiswa Mengo. The tribunal is sitting in Rosebank, Johannesburg, for a hearing into the matter. Proteas white ball head coach Rob Walter named his 15-man squad to play in the ICC Champions Trophy 2025 in Pakistan and the UAE from the 19th of February to the 9th of March. Themba Bavuma will lead the side, which includes 10 players who featured the 2023 Cricket World Cup in India. Top order batters Tony de Zorzi, Ryan Rickleton and Tristan Stubbs and all-rounder Vian Mulder have been selected for their first Senior 50 over ICC tournament, while fast bowler Anrich Nortje, who missed out on the World Cup due to injury, makes his return after 6 months out of the national team. And we'll see you for more news again tomorrow. In the meantime, don't forget to download the EWN app.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.